Hello, my angels and devils, and all who may wander here. It is Amanda Christina, and it's been a couple of days, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm not 100% on where I left off with this tutorial. I'm a little, me, scatty as always. So we have been working on making our own micro mini album, and this is where we were at. I did go through and I did something. I started to do a little bit of decorating without thinking about it. So that I've just put those two pieces down, but I stopped myself. What I have done, however, is on the matting pieces, let me just move these little decorative pieces to the side, which the inserts, which are 3.5 by 2.25. Now, if you are doing this, I will make sure I have both lots of measurements down so that if you don't want anything sticking out at the end of your... Actually, those pages are the right length. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think in one of them I thought these were too long. But your little insert page pockets, pocket insert bits, if I can actually get this in here, do stick out. Actually, no, okay. So I stand corrected. I freaked out and had a moment, but no, all the measurements are fine. The only thing I got wrong was the length of the pages because I could have gone just a little bit higher, but I actually don't mind having a little bit of more hang at the top and the bottom, to be honest. So that's just up to you if you wanted to extend that out 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so what I've done is I went through with these, and I've just put on a quote or something on the front. So this says, "Oh, darling, let's go explore." And it's empty on the inside because there's a matting piece at the back. I sort of did these in a formula sort of way, which is not something I often do. I just sort of started to do it and went, oh, okay, I like that. So this says, "Find your happy place," and this is the plain paper. And I just thought it looked really cool there. It was on a square. I just cut the circle part out. And then it says, "The moments you can't put into words," and there's a little, because I thought that would make a good little journaling spot. Then we have this one with Wanderlust, "A strong innate desire to travel about and see the world." I have the desire, I don't have the funds. And also just at the moment, probably not the health. To travel is to live, and I've just rustically torn around the edge of that one, and then just a matting spot, and then there is still so much to see, and then just a little journaling spot. So I'm going to tuck these all into our little pages. So it doesn't, there's no particular order, and I've just realized that I have done these the wrong way around, as always. That seems to be my thing now, is doing them so that the one part is facing the wrong way. So we want this to go in here. So, actually, that way. I like it so the bit that you pull out is actually the bit that is double, because I feel like that gives you a better grip. Okay, why do I might have put 2 in one spot. Hang on, let me check, because now I am missing one and I know I made 5. Why is it whenever I turn the camera on, I'm doing great until I turn the camera on. I swear lately, sometimes. There's the 5th one. And yeah, the 5th one is the Wanderlust one. So what I will do is actually swap that out and put the one that goes sideways into the center, just because there's only one of those. And then we go this way. Now I'm just going to move all this ephemera and stuff out. A lot of the ephemera I created myself from one of the pages by cutting it up, and then the rest is all taken from the Kaisercraft Just Landed paper pad. So if you've been watching this, you will know, because I would have shown you to start in the very, very first video, and I will make sure to link this. I may put this in its own playlist, I think. Where is it? So that is the page I cut apart for ephemera, because I thought that was, and it's got that nice sort of embossed texture, so I thought that was a really nice thing to use. I am loving this as something for small books. I didn't realize that would be so good for that. And then there's just these cut aparts, which is what I've used as part of my sort of journaling thing, and these are the ones I cut apart for journaling, and then the rest is just the stuff that comes in the back of the book. So you get a lot of things you can utilize. Don't ever be afraid to cut up your papers to repurpose them as ephemera. Okay, so that's okay. So now what I have done is I have cut a piece that is 5 3/4 by 3 inches. So it will wrap around the book. Now, we're going to tape this. The reason we're going to tape this is I think it works a bit better than glue. So I'm just going to grab some tape. Yeah, I had an issue with, I think, the last video. It just didn't want to, something happened when I was getting, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to leave it there. Oh yeah, I was running out of battery power. I was down to like 10% battery because I didn't bring in the power cord from my room because it's a bit of a pain in the behind to unplug. Anyway, so we're 6 minutes into this video and I feel like I've shown you nothing. So sorry that this is such a long process. You're probably starting to get an idea of why it takes me, when I say I'm working on a mini album, why it can take me anywhere from a few days to a week. Doing the first one of these only took me a couple of days. But it did take me a couple of days, and again, I didn't get all my measurements and stuff right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this part up with the edge of our book and smooth it on nicely, and then I'm just going to gently make sure I am covering. Of course I have this slightly wonky, of course, because this tape is one that doesn't like to move once you have it down. Of course I'd have it slightly wonky. It wouldn't be me. Honestly, you would not be getting something from me if it wasn't slightly wonky in some way. Okay, so then we have our little book cover done. Now, if you want to, you can come along and put different paper on the sides. I kind of actually really like how that looks. Not going to lie, I really liked that paper. That's why I chose it for this. We're on 7 pieces of paper now that I have cut up to use for this. However, you've only used half of this. And you're not going to use all the, unless you want to, you're not going to use every bit of ephemera and stuff. So we've got a tuck spot here. So what I'm going to pop in here is another tag, and see, because that's the internal cover, they actually work well for there. So there's that. Then we have our photos take us back to the memories where we felt most alive, and then that folds down and you've just got all your little spots. So what I might do is just, yeah, I might cut this little arrow out. So what I do is I'm just going to go through now, because I said I would do this with you guys, and we're just going to go through the ephemera and stuff. I'm not going to add anything much from my stash to this. Actually, I'm probably not going to add anything from my stash to this. Just as a challenge to myself, I like to sometimes use what I have to hand, and I don't really have anything of mine to hand at the moment. So I'm just cutting out this arrow that says Wanderlust, which is such a great word, isn't it? Wanderlust. I like the word shenanigans too, and there's a few words I really like. That shenanigans is one I really love. I don't know, like, we're going to get up to shenanigans. Like, let's see if that's going to fit across. Yeah, let's just do that, because I just like the look of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in 2 different spots, so that, let's see, so that it holds, but then if you want to tuck something into it, you can. Here we go, we've got a little tag that we can tuck in here. Nope, that's not going to work because it's too high, but you get the idea, is that you can, we'll just tuck that little good luck in there so that whoever gets it knows that there's something that can be tucked in there. So that's that. Then we fold it over, and we've got this little spot here, and we've tucked I tucked an extra tag in there. And what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to look for one of these round pieces just to pop on here, just to give it a nice, oh, we might have something. I'm just, as I said, I've just got a whole lot of these are my extra matting ones that I didn't use, that I can go back if I want to and use those for other things. So it's use those in this for the pullouts. Like, you could easily just pop them on the, and I probably will go back and put some on the back because I made them back the front. Of course I did. Let's see what we have. Oh, I like the let's go somewhere far away. Yeah. Now, if you wanted to, you could mat these and add extra bits to them. I just wanted to keep this fairly simple. Then we have our double flips. Now, this one I know I want to put something on. Let's celebrate, bon voyage. I kind of like this let's celebrate, but oh yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my ink. Now, sometimes when I'll show you on the happy birthday, because we're not going to use that in this, is when the writing is white, sometimes what I'll do is, just to bring the colour I've been using and to make it a bit more cohesive, is just, I will just do a little bit of that to bring a little bit of the, can we see the colour? I know it's pale, but how far do I have to get close to the camera? You can kind of see that I have added, come on, focus, baby, focus, that I have added the ink over the happy a little. It just gives it that little extra sort of thing. So do I really want let's celebrate? Yes. But what I'm going to do is, I have some, hang on, excuse the lack of light. I forget. I totally forget that these work without being plugged in. Okay, I was going to say, excuse the lack of light for a minute. I have this foam tape. I get this clear foam tape from eBay for 95 cents a roll. I usually buy it 2 rolls at a time. It is 3 meters, and I use quite a bit of it. I like it. I love it for flip books and stuff. It's not quite as thick as normal foam tape, but you can layer it like normal foam tape. But it is clear, so if it's sticking out on you, you're not going to see it. But for making small things and flip books, anything where you just want a little bit of a standout, like I love it for pockets and things. Absolutely love it for pockets and things. I just have to hope that my magnet's still going to work. I just realised that I didn't think this through when I put the, but we shall see. Hang on. There's one way to find out. Let's just pop this down. No. Okay, so we're not going to do that now. We're going to find another sentiment. We're going to use this adventure, travel, explore. That's what we're going to do. Let's use the adventure, travel, explore. And I'm going to look, where are we? We're working on this. Yes, we're just going to put this little adventure, travel, explore, like a little button, but I was just looking for something that would kind of go with it. No. See, this is where you could put like a little flat flower or something and turn this into the centerpiece of a flower. But I'm just going to be boring and stick it right down. Oops. And then that magnet should still work. And then I really like this photo, but I still want to do something there. So I want something small that's not going to interfere too much. Maybe, that's the problem sometimes with limited things, is it takes you a little while to find what you might want. Yeah, that road trip looks good. That will work. So sometimes it's just a matter of exploring and finding something that works. See, I like that road trip because it's not taking over the whole photo, but it does give you a little bit of an idea of what could go there. So we have that done. Then we've already got this with the tuck-ins, so we're fine there. But see, sometimes I like to just put a little something. But because the tuck spot takes up so much room, we don't have to there. So these are just some of the ephemera that are journaling pieces. So we're just going to tuck those there. Then we have our flip down, our flip up, and our flip down, and I didn't realize that would catch. And I've just popped a tag in there in a tuck spot I created with the scrap of the paper and just one of the border strips, and then that folds back up, and then we open it up, and I already decorated that without thinking, so it just says follow your dreams. Okay, so we have our belly band, and I don't know whether I had decided what was going in the belly band or not, but we have some of these leftover pieces of sort of, so, and I like to, when it comes to a belly band, to pop a sentiment in as well. So we have these we're going to tuck in here. They should fit. I did measure before, I did check before I made the belly band that there was a little bit of extra room, because otherwise it can be a little hard to get the ephemera in and out. Now this is a nice tight belly band, and then what I'm going to look for, the world is waiting. I like travel does the heart good, but because I don't really want the grey, I think I'll just cut out, sometimes just fussy cutting things a little bit more, like that was me. I did already fussy cut this, but I'm just cutting out the grey so that I just have that sort of slight yellow with the grey writing. And then I'm just going to make sure I get rid of that one. And then I'm just going to take the ink again. Now this may not stick to some of the front of this because this has that the coating. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to grab the foam tape this time when I can actually use it. Yeah. Can we talk about that? Amanda making lots of mistakes. Because, you know, that's just the world I live in. Seriously, guys, if you saw how much I mess things up as I'm making them, this is an example. This is a really good example, though, for people who do get perfectionisty and do struggle, is that I am not perfect. There we go. I like that. Although, you know what I might do? Let's just gently pick that up. And I think I'm going to pop this little world underneath it. Is that I make a lot of mistakes. Nothing I send out is perfect ever. If I ever send you something perfect, it's probably not made by me, or you're not looking at it closely enough. Okay, there we go. I like that now. Yep, let's do that with travel does the heart good. Then we have this little flip up, and I just want so I don't like covering up those photos, but I think I'll just do that. Let's celebrate there. Honestly, there are so many mistakes in things I make. Sometimes you've got to look closely. Sometimes don't forget the power of a good embellishment, because honestly, a good embellishment hides a multitude of sins. Sometimes you create something where you can't hide a mistake, and sometimes you've got to. I really like. There's an Amish thing where Amish people deliberately put a mistake in everything they make in order to bring them closer to God. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing, like sentiment, in that it is because it's through our flaws we learn the most. It's through our mistakes rather than through our successes that we actually do learn the most. So I think that is something that I think is very, very much important, and I think it's important to embrace and remember. See, I've already got a world there, damn it. I was like, oh, a word. Oh, I think that's a really good thing, is that our mistakes are what we learn from. Wayne Dyer used to say it a lot, that the only thing a successful person learns from success is how to be successful. And a successful person will get to a point where They learn to welcome the failures, or to welcome what I don't even think of it as failure. I think of it as life, as lessons. When we learn to welcome the lessons, because the lessons are what we learn from. We learn the most from those. They force us to grow. They push us to grow as a person. And sometimes that is a very, very good thing. And there we go. We have, okay, so now we've got a cover. I like the eat, sleep, travel. Maybe this little world is a little cluster. And maybe this adventure. There we go. I think I've got what I want to do for the cover. So what I'm going to do is ink the edges of everything. And some of it I will pop up on the foam tape, but this one we won't. So this is a very simplified, like, I don't always go out for all fancy. I try, but I don't. Here's the thing. If I don't have it in front of me, I'm not going to use it. Like, I will get up and pull things out if I need to. But often, I'll be real with you, often it's not even laziness, it's the fact that I have to deal with mental illness, and both chronic physical and mental illness, that sometimes you just don't have the energy to get up and do the things. So I kind of want to ink around this. And I think I'm going to pop the world up. No, I think I'm going to pop the adventure up on some foam tape, to be honest. I think that's what I want to do. And this, look, okay, this wasn't the quickest thing to make, and I did a lot of prep work, I'll be honest. And honestly, the biggest pain in the bum for creating a mini album, I'm not going to lie, is all the sitting there and having to cut it out. But once you have those measurements and you've done it a few times, it goes a lot quicker. Like, this is quicker than the first time I did it because I followed the formula of what I had already created. I don't do that with my mini albums. So if I'm making a mini album, I don't go, oh, I've already done this, or look at someone's tutorial and go, okay, I'm just going to follow this all the way through. The only time I have done that was, I think it was a Rosa Kelly baby book. And one other thing, and that was just because I was learning and I didn't know what I was doing. Now I look at stuff and I take some stuff from here and some stuff from there, and I've started designing my own style of pages as well. The flip up, flip down page, that's mine. If you look in my, what is it? If you look in the Splendid album, there's a couple of pages that I designed with, like the page with the pegs. That is my design. So that's the way I work as a crafter. I learn from other people, but then I start adapting and doing my own thing as well. And there's nothing wrong with doing a whole tutorial by someone. I'm not saying that at all, because I'm a big believer in we learn from each other, and it is so important that we do learn from each other and to have those sort of resources. Yeah, we'll go that way. So there's my cover, and here's what we created. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, no, it's not a quick craft. This isn't going to be sit down and, half an hour later have a craft. What it is it's something that you can sit down and create probably in a few hours if you're a fast crafter. I'm not a fast crafter. I'm a slow crafter. This has gone on for like 23 minutes, so I'm going to say, you will see, I will definitely have a proper flip through of this and if I make any extra changes or anything, because I'm a woman, I'm prone to change my mind. I'm a crafter, I'm prone to changing my mind. I will definitely show you this in the 100 Things Challenge, because I believe this is number 38. And I made mini cookies the other day, so that is 39. So Fiona Jane, you were correct in thinking I was up to 39. I just hadn't shared 38 and 39 with you yet. Now, I said I'd put a code word in this. So let's put the code word mini album madness for this one, but you can't use it unless you have watched parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this tutorial. Um, and see, this is me real-time crafting. I have no editing skills, so you're not going to see edited videos. This is everything in real time, except for the couple of things, and I always tell you when I've sort of taken time out to do those. Anyway, I hope you are having an amazing day. Please click that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to make sure you don't miss any videos. I hate that we have to say that, but YouTube is messing with the algorithms again, which is messing with my head. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever it is where you are. Remember, as always, I always say this, and I do mean this truly from the bottom of my heart and soul. You are incredible, you are amazing, and you truly do matter. Bye all!